Word, son. What do you do, YouTube? It's your boy, Jay Divine. All right, man. Before we get into this video, make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so you're notified every time I upload. But without further ado, let's get up into it. All right, man. So Battlefield 2042 has officially dropped. If you're on the East Coast, 3 o'clock this morning. Yeah, it was officially dropped. I had a few issues with it. Of course, starting off, you know, the servers weren't always the best. I kept getting that unknown error at the top of the screen, but eventually, if you kept spamming X, or A, if you're on Xbox, you kept spamming X, eventually it let you in there and you got into a game, and I checked it out. And it's good, but there are some things that it needs, and it needs a lot of polishing. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, I love Battlefield. I love it to death. I could fanboy over it all day, but you got to kind of be realistic, and you got to be, you know, straightforward with it. So I'm going to go down the list of things that I feel like need to be attentive or attended to, you know what I mean? Or things that need to be attentive. I don't like you saying that, but things that need to be attended to, we need to really look at these things. So make sure to sit back, chill, take a pee break, pause the video, get you some popcorn, because you know how I do. But okay, so first things first, this really isn't a complaint, it's more of a preference. Crossplay will be turned off this year. And I guess to go on kind of a bit of a rant or a tangent here, I don't really like crossplay that much because of the simple fact that when I thought of crossplay, I thought of crossplay being, you know, just console, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like how Sandstorm is, because Sandstorm has crossplay, but that's just console only, Xbox and PlayStation. So, you know, with the fact that we got PC now on Battlefield, I don't trust PC too much. And this is coming from somebody who came from PC, like not came from PC, but I was also on the PC side also. So I know how the game goes. You know, I'm not finna go down the whole schematics, but of course, you know, we have PS5, Xbox Series X, we have these $500, $600 consoles that run like entry-level PCs, and they're running at max settings. Then you have PC that's running at, you got a $3,500 PC rig that's running at 3 times the max settings, the highest refresh rate possible. We probably might be running on the same plane, but then again, it's PC, so y'all have a bigger avenue. The whole mouse and aiming thing, to tell you the truth, that to me isn't fair, because on console, yeah, we got aim assist, quote unquote, whatever. That's not here. That's neither here nor there. The simple fact of controller, you're on a certain map when it comes to aiming. You're on a certain map. You know what I'm saying? When you're on PC, mouse and key, on mouse, everything is 1-to-1. There is no there really isn't no. There's no restriction. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't feel as restricted like as if you're playing on console with a controller. You know what I'm saying? So that allows for more flexibility for you to be able to kind of point and click. You know what I mean? And then the same as that time, this is PC, so it's easy to get your hands on some cheats. Now, I think the anti-cheat engine might be a little stronger than Call of Duty per se, but then again, I don't want to stick around to find out. So for me, it's going to be turned off. Now, you can agree, and if you don't, you can suck my balls respectfully. But I'm turning off crossplay this year. I really don't feel like dealing with PC players. So moving on with that. This game has a lot of bugs in it, and the biggest bug to me was the flaring bug, or like the flare bug as I call it. Whereas like sometimes like the game will like start flashing, and it looks, if you have epilepsy, I guarantee you this will probably trigger it, but it would flare sometimes, like as if like the game would flicker and flare this super stupid bright light or whatever. Like it was times I had to squint my eyes and kind of look away, because I'm just like, yo, that's like too bright, you know what I'm saying? As far as that is, it's like a bunch of other bugs sometimes where like let's just say the player model sometimes where like if they're dead, they still look like they're alive, but I guess the player model is stuck and it's not in the death animation pose or whatever. So it looks like it's still standing up, because I've not mistakenly, but I've shot player models on accident, you know, thinking that, oh, he's still alive, let me hit him, and, you know, come to find out he was dead. It's just a glitch, you know, a bug or whatever. But those are probably the two biggest things to me, but the biggest thing is kind of like the bug with the whole with the flares and stuff like that. Another bug is the hybrid sights. Now, the hybrid sight on the first assault rifle that you get, I can't really think of it off the top of my head, but the sight that you get on that, you know, the hybrid sight, we're able to flip from, I think it's like 3 times to the 1 time, you know, the red dot up top, and then you got the scope at the bottom. Now, there's a bug where if you die, and you respawn back, you're not able to flip, nor are you able to get a zoom on the hybrid. So it's just like you're looking out of a 1x ACOG scope. That's what it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? So they need to fix that. Let's see, another thing is the reviving system. Now, I really feel like they should bring back the defibrillators. Now, I understand the defibrillators is already on there for when you run up to a guy, you go to revive him, and then the defibrillators come out and you hold square, whatever. That's cool and all. But I still feel like that was a part of Battlefield 4, because that's the type of vibe I get from this Battlefield 2042. That's the vibe I get from it. It's like Battlefield 2.0, but way better. You know what I mean? Battlefield 4. So that's what it kind of feels like to me. But I feel like you should still be able to run around with the defibrillator in your hand if you want to, for a quicker revive. Because if you notice, when you're running around and you go try to revive somebody, you notice it's like a 3-second countdown before you revive somebody. Now, that's probably because I wasn't a medic. It might be a little bit more quicker if I was a medic, but we should still have the ability to run around with a defibrillator if we want to. We shouldn't have to only see it when we're reviving somebody holding square. So maybe that's just me, but I feel like defibrillators need to actually be something you can run around with and actually pick people up instantly. But that's just me. That's just me. All right. Let's see, the parachutes. I know this is kind of minuscule, but the parachutes is something that is lasting a little bit too long than what it should be, because somebody can parachute down, right? You know he parachuted down. So with the fact that he parachuting down, he lands, and if you land, the parachute will still be on you as you're moving around, because of course when you land, you're supposed to drop the parachute and then that's the end of it. But the parachute is still in the air and it's giving away where you're moving around at. So if you try to sneak up on somebody, he see that you came down the parachute, all he has to do is just follow where your parachute is and then come meet you. You know what I mean? So they need to kind of fix that. That might be a visual bug. However, that does need to be fixed, because that can become a problem later on down the line if we don't address this now. Another thing is the ability to switch to L1 and R1 for ADS and fire. I can't stress this enough, because PlayStation triggers are terrible. It's like you're pressing down Play-Doh. That's what it's like. That's the best example I can give for triggers on PlayStation. Xbox is the only console where I can use the triggers and I won't even complain. Like, the triggers feel great. They feel responsive. They feel snappy. I don't feel that on PlayStation. I don't know why they still haven't improved on that on the PS5, but whatever. Go off, sis. You know, so they need to put that ability in there, because I don't like using single fire weapons and I'm having to use R2, because the pull on it is so far down that, you know, it doesn't register quick enough for me to be able to get my trigger finger off, versus me using R1 to get my shots off. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, there are times where I've walked around with the I'll just say G18 for the time being, because I'm not looking at the screen. But, you know, the first pistol you get, and sometimes I'll pull that one out, and when I pull that one out, you know, I might be going one-on-one with a guy, and I know how fast my trigger finger would get off in the heat of the battle, but because of the triggers and where it'll actually register your press at, I might be, in my mind, I'm pressing it at least a good 14 times. If the clip holds 18, I'm squeezing off at least 14 compared to like how many times my trigger finger's pressing the trigger. But if I'm not pressing that far enough, that 14 will get cut down to maybe 6, maybe 7, maybe 8, because I'm having to press it all the way down in order for it to register. So just to nip all that in the bud, give us the ability to use L1 and R1 to ADS and fire, because I mean, that should really become an option, because there's always been an option in any other Call of Duty Battlefield that you can flip it to L1 and R1. So give us that option, please. I would really appreciate that if we have that option. The net coding does need some improvement. I've had several opportunities where I'm squaring off with a guy. I think I had the Magnum in one of them, and or the revolver, if you will, and I literally shot right at him. And as I shot right at him, the bullet didn't even register. Like, if it's supposed to be 6 or 7 in the revolver, the 6 shots that I shot, maybe 2 or 3 registered. All the rest of them just went through him, and I was like spot on with him. So please improve the net coding. All right, the net coding definitely needs to be improved. The servers need to also be touched up too, because starting out, we all know how the servers are going to be. They need to really be reinforced by the time, if not now, then they need to seriously reinforce these servers by the time 2042 drops, because there should be no reason as to why we're having server issues on day one. because when the beta dropped at 3 a.m. this morning, I had a hard time getting in. Like, my friend told me pretty much you had to keep spamming to get in. That's what I did. I kept spamming. I kept getting an unknown error thing at the top right-hand corner. So definitely make sure that y'all reinforce these servers. Another thing that we're looking at here is, this is probably one of the biggest things, is the weapon attachment screen. The in-game weapon attachment screen. Y'all have got to explain that a little better. Y'all have yet to explain it, because you would think, right? You would think you press L1, and then you use the D-pad to pick what you want, right? At least that's what you would think. But I kind of accidentally hit L1, and once I figured out the D-pad wasn't working for it, which it should, because that's how it should have been, but I pressed X, and when I pressed X, then it started giving me my attachments then. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, it was crazy, because I wasn't sure how the attachments work, because I thought that the more kills you got, the more you level up, the more attachments that you unlock, but they give you these attachments off rip. So as a result of that, I go to the attachment screen and I'm pressing the D-pad and nothing is giving me anything. I'm trying to figure out how people walk around with red dot sights, lasers, suppressors, scopes, how people getting this stuff in their weapons, and I'm not getting it. I thought I was doing something wrong. But the weapon attachment screen in game, y'all need to do a better job at explaining that or tighten up on it, because it's not working as intended. If it has something to do with pressing the D-pad and then hitting X to confirm your choice, you need to do a better job at picking or showing us what we're highlighting before we hit confirm or anything like that, because it seems to me like I'm just pressing X just to get something to confirm or get said scope on my gun. Like, even when I'm trying to pick the scope, I'm pressing D-pad up and it shoots straight up to the top to the scope. I don't want the scope, I want the red dot. So I gotta press down, and when I'm pressing down and hitting X at the same time, then it's telling me now it's telling me, oh, all right, so now you want the iron sight, but now you got the laser, right? Okay, no, you want the laser. Okay, do it again. Now you got the still an iron sight, but now you have the grip now. Oh, you want a suppressor on it? Okay, here's a compensator. Like, you see how convoluted it gets? You know what I'm saying? Like that to me is really like convoluted and frustrating. Y'all need to really do a better job explaining that, or y'all need to fix that mechanic, because that should have been something that either should have been explained or should have been fixed so it's working properly. That's something that y'all should have really tightened up on. Definitely please tighten up on that, bro, because it's a good feature. I like it. I mean, it's a tad bit unrealistic, but then again, it's Battlefield. You know what I mean? I like it. But y'all definitely need to fix that. Definitely need to fix that weapon attachment screen. Definitely, I need to fix that. Last but not least, the spawning menu. This is kind of nitpicky, but I felt like it was kind of hard, to try to pick where I wanted to spawn at. 'Cause you would think it'd be a little easier just taking the left stick or pushing the D-pad to pick where I want to spawn at, whether it's on a squad mate or whether it's to spawn on an objective. But sometimes when I'm pressing it, it's not really being responsive enough. It's not snappy enough. You know, this game all around in general just needs really, 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 really detailed polishing. Graphically, the game looks good, but unless you address these bugs and these nagging features that you guys have yet to like really tighten up on, if y'all don't improve that, then y'all are really gonna have a hard time. And I don't want Battlefield 2042 to flop. I really don't want it to. Like, this game has so much potential to be great, because at this point, Call of Duty is just it's running its race. It's running its course right now. It's in a hamster wheel, if you will. You know what I'm saying? But this right here could be something special. You guys cannot screw this up. Just please don't screw this up. You know what I mean? So out of all the things I just listed here, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Add to it if you got some things that you're also dealing with. And this is on console. If you got PC problems, you know, feel free to share them. But like I said, I'm going to make sure I reiterate, I'm not playing with PC gamers this year. Definitely not doing it. It's just unfair, honestly. Honestly speaking, it's unfair. And all the snobs out there that saying, oh, well, console has this, console has that. I don't know why you're complaining about just another console gamer complaining about PC. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that. I'll play it on PC. It's just not fair. It's just PC has no business playing with console, and I'm leaving it on that. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here, man. Make sure y'all leave a like in the comment section. No, make sure y'all leave a like And make sure y'all comment down below what y'all want to add to this topic. But I'm going to get out of here, man. Make sure you hit the like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy J Divine, and I'm signing out. Peace.